Welcome, one and all. It is time for Three Guys Before the Game, episode number 575 coming at you, and this is our Pitt game recap. Panthers win it by a final score of 38-34. We're going to get into it all the way through from A to Z coming up on the program. Plus, we have got ourselves textual healing. All the boys are assembled. The Senator is here. The Dean is here. And we're enjoying the fact that you are here. Let's do this thing. Three Guys brought to us by Comax Business Systems, keeping West Virginia's business data safe, secure, and efficient for 25 years. By GoMart. Get a GoMart rewards card. Immediately begin saving on your food and fuel. Go to GoMart.com for details or download the GoMart app. By Lou Wendell Marine Sales in St. Albans. They sell family fun. Visit LouWendellMarineSales.com. By Tudor's Biscuit World. Start your day the homemade way. Tudor's Biscuit World.
We just did.
And we just did. Yeah.
That was good.
You talk about word to mouth. Three Guys also brought to us.
I didn't try to.
You can't do two.
I don't know. They're big.
Yeah, it's a big sandwich. Brought to us by Conley CPA Group. Providing value beyond numbers. We'll have numbers coming up.
The lady at Tudor's was very nice. Had a nice experience there.
You did good customer service.
Great customer service.
Outstanding.
Biscuit was nice, fluffy.
She didn't know those were being brought in for the show.
No, we kept that on the down low.
Good. It's very nice of you to do that, Hoppy. That was very nice.
You're welcome. I thought this morning you could use a Tudor's biscuit to brighten your day.
Fair point.
Yeah. Fair point. Need some sunshine. All right. Let's get in. 38-34. Pitt wins the backyard brawl. West Virginia falls to 1-2. Pitt goes to 3-0. And I think of all the episodes, and this is 575, this one may be the most emotional, gut-wrenching post-loss episode that we've done. This probably goes right there with 2 years ago up at Pitt, to be quite honest with you.
Yeah.
All right. So the lay of the land is this. We'll get into the numbers, what's going on, what's happening, why did it happen, That becomes the biggest question. Everyone's got an opinion. And we'll bust it down. Non-conference season is over, and West Virginia's 1-2. Kansas comes in on Saturday to open up Big 12 play. And we'll talk all about that during the course of the week. When it comes to textual healing, we've entered into one of those episodes in which there were just way more texts than can be consumed or used, unless we just made this thing into a telethon and read everything. There was well over 200. And so what I've done is, using the fine services of artificial intelligence and ChatGPT, I took a lot of those texts, not all of the 200 plus, but all, I just took a bunch and put them into ChatGPT, and I said, summarize this into 10 bullet points, what the theme is of the texter. Mm-hmm. Which I think is probably fair, right?
Yeah, good idea.
You'll get a consensus theme out of that. So we will read some texts, and we've got some things, some pictures and things like that from various places, but not everything got used. Anyway, that's where we'll go later. Meanwhile, again, we don't talk before we start. So we just say, like, hey, what's up? What's up? Hey, what's up? But we don't talk about what we're going to talk about. So, Hoppy, you can lead off and give us your take on yesterday.
Sure. Let's start with macro. And why do we follow sports? We follow sports because they are a distraction. That's one of the reasons. And look, we have troubles. You got troubles at home. You got troubles at work. There's troubles in the world. And you need a place to go. You need a place to get away. And so you go to a lot of people, not everybody, but one of the places you go is sports because it brings you joy. It's a distraction. You can focus on that and kind of forget about everything else for a while. But that has risk and reward. And we know the reward, but also there's risk. And that game yesterday, and when you lose, it hurts. When you lose to your rival, it hurts more. When you lose to your rival in the way you lose, it's devastating. To quote Sting, it's a humiliating kick in the crotch. And that's what it felt like. I mean, I've seen wins, I've seen losses, Brad. I'm over it pretty quickly. I mean, come on. Hundreds of them. Last night, my wife said, "Do you want to watch college football?" I said, "I really don't." Every Sunday morning, we have a ritual where she reads me scores. Like, I don't care. I mean, this one goes deep. And this one hurt a lot for Mountaineer Nation. And it's, wow, huge. This one it's historic for all the wrong reasons.
Well said. Agree with all of that. And I think that comes because of the buildup and the excitement leading into the game, right? When you lose those games, it is tougher to swallow. And that's the part on that game. Now you got to move it forward, and the practical part of it is you're 1-2. That's maybe even a bigger story than just you lost that one game with a difficult 5-game stretch, really the rest of the Big 12 season, but for sure the next 5 games. The challenge of finding wins throughout this schedule becomes even more real now that you had a game that you just should have won the game. I mean, there's just no other way to say that. That's just a disastrous loss in a game you should have won. And we'll get into some of the particulars. But at that moment when you had a punt blocked return for a touchdown, it did not look good. You generally don't win games when you get a punt blocked. It's like 90% of the time you lose a game when you get a punt blocked. To fight all the way back and take that lead by 10, to have the defense playing the way it was for the majority of the second half, only to not be able to stop them in the final 2 drives, a kick in the crotch is a great way to describe that, and difficult to get over. Difficult to get over for everybody involved, and I get that. That's a really tough loss to explain away.
Sure. And I do think, and I agree with what you guys are saying, a lot of what you're saying, is that from the perspective of fans, they make a financial investment, they make an emotional investment, and they want a return from their investment. And I think now for the second time this season, the result after they heavily invested, Penn State game and in this Pitt game, wasn't there. And when it happens to your absolute longest rival and you have it in your hands up 10 with inside of 5 minutes to play, that is what takes it to another level of just exploding frustration. And so that's super hard. So that's that. Obviously, the score's not going to change, 38-34. Of a more smaller, breakdown of this game, through 2 games now against Power 5, Power 4 competition, you're being outscored 34-23. So you're getting outscored by 11, take away the Albany game. And pass defense, and Brad, I'm sure, has the numbers, is now really close to the bottom in the nation. And that is a massive, massive concern. There's a fundamental problem with your pass defense right now. And you were hoping that this week they would correct the errors that they had in the first 2 games. And you went in there with some hope. And yet, Pitt ends up throwing for 301 yards, 3 touchdowns, and you don't get a pick. And these are the things that just kind of stack on top of each other, which, as a fan and as a player and the coaches, it makes you want to scream. Because I'm sure when Brad gets into the numbers here, you could make a very strong case why what you did statistically should have been good enough to win. But you didn't. And the bottom line is the bottom line. This is a results-driven business, and the only thing that matters in the big picture is the result. You don't get style points.
And Neil Brown talked about this in the press conference. Everybody could see it. Brad will have stats on this, is that you have to make plays at key times. And West Virginia didn't do that in those last 2 drives. Brad, you did a good job defensively for most of that second half. But then when you needed to make plays on those last two drives defensively, you didn't. And then offensively, we needed to make plays in that one drive and get a couple of first downs. You didn't.
So in close losses like this, you can always go back and pull some individual plays out that you just didn't execute that cost you the game, and they did. And you're right. You were elite defensively in the second half, and quite frankly, from mid-second quarter on. And I do have some numbers to get into that just shows how maddening that loss is. Because Tony, you're right. There's 5 or 6 things I could pull out of there that if I had told you on Thursday this would happen, you'd say that's a win.
Mm-hmm.
But you drop a pass that's a sure pick six by the defense early in the game. That's a game changer. You completely miss a block on the edge that allows not only the punt to be blocked. I feel like this is the same thing we said 2 years ago. Not only did you not catch the pass at the end of that game 2 years ago, if you would have just knocked it down, you probably would have been fine. But not only did you not catch it, it goes for a pick six. This, not only did you get a punt blocked, but you got a punt block that was returned for a touchdown. You just don't win games like that. Your defense is playing so well and it had come back and rallied and got something figured out, and you just needed a stop. You just need a stop. You're up 2 scores, and they go down and get 2. You hold them to a field goal on the final drive, and they march right down the field on you, 70-plus yards in what, 6 or 7 plays? With the game on the line, that just can't happen. You have Eli Holstein wrapped up multiple times and can't get him on the ground. Wait till I give you some of these scramble yard stats and some of the numbers of him after contact. It's mind-boggling that you just couldn't make the play. Offensively, that second to last series, not the one with only 30 seconds left. Second to last series, you get 1 first down, you're in good shape. That clock's ticking. They're going to have to burn their timeouts. You just need 1 first down. Can't get it. So there's multiple moments, and you don't even need all of those moments, Hop. You just need a moment of some of the ones I just named, and that's a win, and yet you couldn't get across the finish line on it. That's what I think the frustration comes from. And listen, coaches and players as well, more so than anybody, but I get the fan frustration because you're watching that saying, just get a stop here. Just get 1 more first down. You're averaging 5 yards a carry. Bust the damn thing up the middle and get 5 yards first down and move along in this game. And you just couldn't get there.
Just do what you, in the last 5 minutes, just do what you had done the previous quarter and 2/3.
Yeah, on either side, offense, defense.
Just
right.
do that.
Yes.
Couldn't do it.
3 Guys brought to us by Comax Business Systems, business owners. If you've been putting off getting a new phone system, there may be benefits, big benefits for you for a new phone system. You can do whatever you want. You can purchase, you can lease, you can rent your hardware. And what do you get? You get constant contact with the folks out in the field. Your voicemail, hey, it'll actually work. From 1 line to 1,000, they'll come in, give you a free price quote, and it's competitively priced. Go to Comax Business Systems for that free quote. ComaxWV.com. That's ComaxWV.com. 3 Guys also brought to us by Lou Wendell Marine Sales. They happen to be the single largest pontoon boat dealer in the state of West Virginia, family-owned for decades. Experts when it comes to pontoons, and also, tell you what, those Gator Tough John Series boats, durability, dependability, and more. So they're more than pontoons. They've got it all. And they've been doing it for nearly 50 years. It is Lou Wendell Marine Sales at LouWendellMarineSales.com. And I said those
Siri was helping you there.
Yeah, I said the G votes, and all of a sudden G votes, and I've got Siri telling me the John Deere Gator. Who's got a good one? Who's got a bad one?
Jeez.
Thank you, Siri.
Hey, can I add one other thing?
Sure.
That because if you subtract the fandom, which is hard to do, it was an exciting game. It was a compelling game. It was an entertaining game to watch. And Brad, one of the saddest parts about this, that if West Virginia had won, you'd be talking about Tavon Straw, right? And his fake punt run. You'd be talking about that like, what a historic moment. It'd be like the Brady, fake punt.
That's one.
You'd be talking about Justin Robinson.
No question. One of the best catches in Brawl history.
Yeah,
right?
You'd be talking about those things, saying, wow, they won the backyard brawl, and what about these plays? But that all gets diminished significantly because you lost the game. So you don't get a chance to enjoy those moments.
It's a great point. It's like Tavon Austin having the single game rushing record, but it came in a loss, so we only tangibly mentioned that.
Right.
So you're right. It was the brawl lived up to what we all want the brawl to be, right? Close, fun games, exciting, good day of college football.